Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of the Red Devils Corner Kick Podcast, a fan podcast dedicated to Manchester United Football Club. As always, like, subscribe, follow, whether you're on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify. And then you can also follow on Instagram, TikTok, and X as well. Thank you to those who have been subscribing, following, listening, downloading to the podcast. I greatly appreciate it. So thank you very much. Don't forget to pass it along as well. Share with your friends. Just looking to grow the channel more and more. But again, thank you to all those who have been doing it, and also those who leave the likes, the follow-ups, everything. I greatly do appreciate it. Yes, it is a Friday. We are in the weekend. Just like last weekend, a Sunday match with the Manchester United women's squad and a Monday match with the men's squad. So today's episode is going to be split up into two parts. So when you see it posted on YouTube, one is going to be dedicated to the preview for the women's squad, and then I'm going to do an episode towards the men's squad. These are the preview episodes. Sunday, the women's squad is playing Tottenham. Monday, we have a big match against Bournemouth. I will be posting today's preview for the women's squad. Today's episode, part 1 is going to be the women's squad. Part 2 is going to be the men's squad. There will be separate videos for both. So you'll be seeing episode 101 split into two parts. Yes, it is episode 101. Wednesday was episode 100 of the podcast, which I was very excited about. Again, hoping that we would get a win against Lyon. Obviously, that didn't happen with them falling 3-0 or 3-0. Sorry, my apologies. But looking for Saturday to be a bounce back, specifically. Listen, we came out of the international break, or we went into the international break with some tough losses, came back against West Ham, and then we had a tough one against Lyon. This weekend, we are playing Tottenham. And listen, there's no such thing as an easy game in sports. And this weekend, this squad needs to rebound. They face an incredible tough opponent in Lyon. They did. The first, if you want to listen to that post-app game episode, do so. It is available on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify. But we need to rebound. Listen, we're facing Tottenham. They're 1 point back of us. Listen, we're having a good season, the women's squad. There's nothing to say listen, we've had bad games, but the way the season's going, we're having it. Obviously, our last 5 games, losing to Aston Villa and Manchester City, coming back again with a win against West Ham. This game, this weekend, has to be another bounce back. We have to redeem. This is 2 games against Tottenham. Sunday in the Super League, and then the following weekend against them again in the Cup. So we definitely have back-to-back, so we're going to see each other differently. And also the Sunday game the following week is the last game before the break. So we're going to be going that as well. Listen, still expect rotation for this game. Because again, as much as we had rotation on Wednesday, we have a game Sunday, but we're also back again next Wednesday against Juventus for the final game of Champions League. The women's squad is on to the next round, but it's still a matter of getting in time and facing those tough opponents. We're facing another tough club in Juventus, but as much as that's there, rotation is key. So first Sunday, again, it was good to have everyone back. Obviously Wednesday, no Turland. So hopefully, I'll have to double check on the status. We may not have an update yet, but hopefully Turland is back for Sunday's match against Tottenham. Look for something similar to something similar that Skinner did for Sunday, or last Sunday against West Ham. Look for that similar lineup. You should see Park and Toon back in the lineup. The one thing I may like to see is if Turland's not back, Mallard up at the front, Park, Rolfo together out on the wings. Then you can have Toon, Miyazawa, either Olme or Wojo. And then Janssen should be back to starting in the back three. One thing, too, Skinner could look to rotate in that back four a little bit more, especially with Sandberg, Riviere, Letizier. You can rotate them. They have been consistently playing those three. You might want to rotate those three as well and give them some time to rest, especially with a game like Juventus coming up. But rotation is key, especially with this, and especially we have an international break kicking off in a week for the women's squad, or a big break for the women's squad. You also want to make sure everyone's healthy too. You want to make sure that we don't go into the break having a player who's going to be gone for a lot longer than what the additional 2 weeks. But having them rotate will help. Again, like I said, having the front three, I've always liked that combination of Park, Rolfo, and then Mallard up front. You can have Toon, as well as the attacking mid, as well. Mizawa, as well as Olme or Wojo as well. You can have them there. Again, the back four, you can get George in for some time. I believe it's Blundell as well. You want to get players in to rotate in health because, again, it is about that. But I don't expect Skinner to make any changes to the back. Maybe just having Janssen back instead of George starting. Or you can have Janssen and George starting together, Letizier. If not, it's going to be the same back four, similar to what West Ham was. So, again, making sure that we're healthy, rotation. You want to make sure everyone's good to go. But that's what I'm looking for, is basically, that's what I'm predicting is similar to that. But the only thing is I would kind of just want to see that up front a little bit more, a little bit different. Have Park, Rolfo, and Mellard just together on the attack and see how that goes for, especially if Turland is out a little bit longer as well. But we want to make sure everyone's there. Sandberg, again, Sandberg, Riviere will be there. Again, pushing the ball out of the back. The one thing too, I know Leon is there, but you got to be careful of the press. Make sure you're moving the ball out, especially with sometimes you've seen the back play. United have struggled, and we don't want that. You want to be able to be consistent with the passes, the timing of the passes. Don't let what happened on Wednesday carry over to Sunday. That's all I want to say, because we want to make sure everyone is on the same page, like moving forward. Health, like I can keep reiterating health, but the one thing I'm basically saying is we want to make sure we're moving the ball well. We're moving passes where it's in the spot and stride and moving it up. A couple times last week, as much as they were passing the ball well, and even on Wednesday, there were a lot of delayed passes that were either our runners were going a second too fast, or our passes just weren't getting enough there to get to our attack. We can't let Tottenham collapse, or we got to be able to take advantage of spots in Tottenham's area, in their box, in their 18, where we get control. That we cannot push passes into it. We have to give passes where only we can get them, where we can get into our feet and score. We cannot be delayed, especially when we're trying to do a transition or going through the back. That's what the one thing too with Wednesday. We would see the ball move to our mid, and then when our runners would start to go before they crossed half, the pass just seemed like our runners seemed to have just gone. Our passing wasn't there. Let's just say this: the passing has to link up a lot better for Sunday, just so we move it. Again, crosses into the middle have been good. Using our backs as well, especially carrying it up along the side. giving Park control to get the ball movement. She did some good things on Wednesday. But in the end, we have to make sure everything is being fluid and moving things through. So that's the one thing we have to look at, and we got to make sure we're good to go. So keep an eye on that as well. Listen, I'm always going to go for a win. But yes, I would like to make sure that the carryover from Wednesday is not there on Sunday. So we know, like, again, the table, we know the table can be misleading, but listen, anything can happen on the pitch. Anything can. So Tottenham can take one. We know Villa was able to take one very, very effectively against us, especially in the struggles. So we have to move the ball well. We have to be able to contain it. Be careful, like when we're moving out of the back in transition through the middle up to the attack, we have to make sure everything's on. Make sure things are flowing through the middle as well. But again, silly plays, silly turnovers. Some of that has cost United goals, so we can't keep having that there. So, but yeah, games on Sunday. Post game will be very late. It won't be out till later on that night. Not usually like it is right after the game. I'll have it out late Sunday night, as well. So I'm going to be missing some of the game. So part of me is going to be rewatching it and just being able to give you guys a proper feedback on the game. So tune into that on Sunday. So it'll be late Sunday as well. Just because I want to make sure everything's right as well. But yes, please note that this is part one of what's going on. So I'm going to be recording another episode for the pod in a moment about the men's squad. That's going to be part two as well. The reason why, so I'm going to be doing that in separate pieces. Because usually I would do the Saturday game. Unfortunately, I'm unable to record the preview for the men's game tomorrow. So I won't be able to get that out, but I'm doing a double duty episode tonight. So part one is today with the women's squad. Part two is going to be coming up. Will be released a few minutes after I've released the women's squad preview as well. So, but just to touch base again, what I would like to see for the lineup: Rolfo, Mallard, Park, Toon, Mizawa, go with Olme, and then the back four of Riviere, Letitia, Janssen, and Sandberg, and then you'll have Tulish, Joyce in the net as well. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys on Sunday, late episode Sunday again, like I said. But yes, I'll have an episode out late Sunday, and then hopefully we're discussing, like I did last weekend, we're discussing a win on Sunday, and I hope we're discussing a win on Monday as well. Again, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, whether on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify. Leave a comment as well. And again, thank you to all those who have been liking, subscribing to the channels. And then Instagram, TikTok, and X as well. Don't forget to hit follow, like on posts, comments. Again, thank you to those who have been following as well. I do greatly appreciate it. So again, I'll talk to you guys in a few. This is the Red Devils Corner Kick Podcast. Glory, glory, Man United.